Hey guys, Moss here. Hope you're doing well. Uh, we'll get started in just a second here. Get comfortable. I'm in a hotel room here, so we just finished up with a fantastic private group session. Amazing changes, amazing transformation. So, really fantastic group. We'll just wait a minute before before we get started. I guess we can go ahead and get started. This is Moss on Sundays. And what we do here is it's a two-part program. The first part is analysis. So what that means is I analyze your life, and I'll just pick random people from the audience and tell you exactly why your life is the way it is. Not just tell you about it, tell you, help you reprogram or rewire yourself. The second part is Moss on Sundays, the deep science, and that is where we're going to be talking about mind control, crazy shit, guys, on what people do to, well, control the minds of the masses or control the minds of that individual. So crazy, crazy stuff, pretty barbaric stuff, actually, but like prehistoric stuff, even like MK Ultra and all that garbage. It's just some of the research that I did for this topic is, again, it's pretty sick. So we're going to do that at 10:45, so in about a half an hour. So if you're new to me, welcome. Thanks for being here. I've had 2 near-death experiences, and those experiences have allowed me to tap into a higher consciousness, basically your blueprint of life. Simple as that. I call it your source code, your blueprint of life, and then, well, just shift that blueprint. So let's go ahead and jump in, and you'll see what I mean. Instead of me telling you what I can do, let's just show you what I can do. So, hello, Moss, please, can I get some help with my neck and upper back? Lots of stiffness. 3 days. So, again, I really don't need to know anything really about you. But yeah, so from the work that you've been doing with me, from what I'm seeing, you're releasing a hell of a lot of toxins in your system. You're just dumping. So basically, in the past, you haven't eaten really well. A lot of sugars, a lot of processed foods, from what I'm seeing. Yeah, a lot of processed foods. Oh, and all the way back. Yeah. Oh, so you seem to have like misaligned bacteria in your system. By the way, guys, if I analyze you, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychotherapist, I'm not a financial analyst, anything like that. I'm just telling you what I see. It could be all bullshit. Who knows, right? So you do your research, but during pregnancy, your mom didn't eat properly, didn't have the right bacteria, and then I don't think she breastfed you well. And then also might have been on some medication. So your bacteria is really off, pretty much. And so that's why you've had issues throughout your life. So let's help you, say, reset that, where you start to, say, attract certain foods and so on, that, you know, a good dose of like probiotics would be good, or those things. It's like a fecal transplant type deal where they have bacteria from another person, they dry it out, and they give it to you, and so to refresh, because that'll really help. Again, those are all suggestions for you. Since the work that you've been doing with me, a lot of toxins are releasing off you, by the way. So it's a good thing, because all that stuff's coming off you. But again, going through the process might not be the best. So, all right. And as I work on one person, if you have similar issues, guys, I'll work on you as well. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. This one is from on Instagram. Hello, Moss. I'm on Human Reset, Total Human Reset. If you go to totalhumanreset.com, it's the fastest way to transform your life in 18 days, all aspects of it, hands down. Please strengthen my skeleton. Thank you for your help. You're so welcome. Yeah, so you're doing really fantastic for the first time. I think you've actually understood life, or what life is really about, which is really amazing. It's like there's that freshness that's coming into you. And I know you've probably tried a lot of things in the past, to be adventurous, to be like, look, I'm really living life. But now it's like you were always trying, it's like proving to yourself and others that you're really adventurous or really living life. And sometimes stupid situations that you got yourself into. So now what's happening is like, oh, life is not about all that stuff up there, although, it's fantastic. About finding yourself first, who you are first, taking care of who you are first. So skeleton wise, sure. Let's go ahead and do that. Again, the way this works is that your underlying frequency, imagine a wave generator, right? A wave generator, and it generates the waves. So whatever you do, psychology, NLP, dieting, and all that stuff that you, mind control, all that stuff that you do, the wave is already created the way it is. Okay. And then like a mile down river, you're trying to adjust that wave. And this is where, people do whatever this person has done, in psychology and all that stuff. What exponential intelligence is like, it goes back to, say, the original generator, the wave generator, or your frequency generator. So it goes down to the DNA level and like starts shifting you. So this is where we can make, say, genetic modifications. And again, I'm not a scientist, but worked on hundreds of thousands of people with really fantastic results, bone structure changes. People are recovering from, cancers, and I'm not saying I cure anybody, but nobody can cure anybody. Western medicine, Eastern medicine, I don't care what the hell they do. If your own awakened healing ability is not, if your own internal healing ability is not awakened, and that's what I do best. Okay, so yeah, for you, hon, you're and the bone structure issues basically also stops you from being suppressed by other people, especially a female figure. Like your mom back in the day, it really like just stunted your growth. Oh, they might have had a divorce or something when you were around puberty, by the way. So that's where, you basically stop time. So releasing you from that, right? Nice job. Really nice job. This one, Hamas Amazing Human Reset program so far. Thank you. Can you please scan me to please move even further? Yeah. So So you've done really fantastic. Faye, can you turn this fan on? No, it's over there. Okay. So just a little background noise, guys. Fan. So you've done a fantastic job. And kind of lost train of thought. Sorry, guys. So, Alex, yeah. So what you've done is really you've transformed a lot within a few days. A lot of realizations have shown up for you. You're taking back your integrity. It seems like there's always a lot of hostility in you, not in you, but around you, if that makes sense. Or hostility has been used to, say, control you and dominate you and sequester you. There's also a female, say, dominance over you as well. So all those things are shedding away from you and like literally disconnecting. So that's really fantastic. So yes. Just give me a second here. Let's take a deep breath in, my friend. Help you really to say disconnect from where you are, who you are. This is where you come back and really get acknowledge who you are, and you're not going to let anybody like step on you anymore. So really nice job, my friend. We'll go to this is Johan. Shoot. This one, sure. I was going to go to Johan. So let's take Johan first. It just kind of skipped through, guys, because so many people chatting. So for Johan, it seems like, and I just want to disconnect you. You're a super nice individual. But the worry of your mom, or burdening you, or taking care of your mom, or there's just that nice son, say, attitude, where basically your mom burdens the hell out of you. So yeah, so let's disconnect that from you. It's an easy fix, especially with whatever that you've done with me. You're starting to see it's like, hey, I can take care of my mom, but I don't have to lose my life, because that's what your whole thing is about, losing your own life. So you help other people and you lose your life. How many people like that are out there, right? It's like, I got to do this for my husband. I got to do this, my spouse. I got to do this for my kids. I got to do this for, my boss, my this, and then you end up being like 60 years old, and then it's like, what the fuck happened to my life, right? So you can do all that and still have kids, especially like with mothers or even fathers nowadays. It's like, I have to put my manliness or my woman identity aside and be a mother or a father, and it really fucks up the kids. By the way, it totally destroys the kids. So that kind of pattern is basically in you. So let's get rid of that, where you grow and expand as you experience life. I know you're not a parent or anything, but again, your parents have kind of distorted your version, obviously. So take a deep breath in again. There we go. And then back to, we'll go here. It says, hi, Mas, love a scan. I've been working with you for a while and had a lot of substantial changes. Yeah, so really fantastic changes, actually. A lot of realizations in where you are now, especially the last month or two. It just seems that you seem to have been awakened at some level, because your internal identity it's like onion layers. If you've been like onion layers, and through fear, layer by layer, and it's thin layers, layer by layer by layer by layer, we've gotten to the core level, say, frequencies that dictate how your life works. So now you've removed the fear, and I have to access your log files, because your running files, basically your life files, they've changed so much. So yeah, so just give me a second here. Yeah, so you used to run from a lot of fear, a lot of almost a curse type pattern, and again, that's your language that you would use, like the family's cursed. So you've gotten rid of all that stuff, and now you believe in yourself so much, or you believe, or that connection with your higher self, your pure present, your spirit, that's come into you so much that's like, you know what, I can let go of this human identity. So this is where you are, letting go completely of the human identity, operating not from, say, a time-bound identity, your human identity, but switching more over into, say, your timeless identity. This is where life becomes euphoric. This is where you look at, human consciousness or how humans work and go, shit, that's really fucked up. That's totally messed up, because it is. You get to see, say, and it gets kind of ugly for you, especially nowadays, because society's awakening, and people are just seeing it's like, damn, that's not right. What the hell is government doing? What the hell is so and so doing? What the hell? And you get to see what human is about. And again, it gets ugly for those people at your level that are awakening, because it's like it's like you've been in a hypnotic state, and you just like, somebody slaps the hell out of you, and you wake up, and it's like, whoa, that's the life I've been running. So and I say this because as you go back, it's like, shit, I did that, and I was afraid of this and that. And so use that, not to bury yourself, because there's a lot of guilt and shame and all that comes in you, but use it to remove yourself of that human consciousness, right? And into high performance or pure presence consciousness. That's where you want to be. That's where humans actually start to become human. So again, don't bury yourself. Don't shame yourself for what happened or what you did in the past or what your family did in the past. And worse yet, you'll go, shit, I'm part of human, and we did all that to each other. That's heinous. So a lot of you will be waking up for that. And it is kind of crazy stuff. I went through it a long time ago, by the way. So we all go through the process as we clean up. So super nice job. So what I was doing for you is like helping you look into the direction you're going versus looking back on that. And then also, if you do look back, it's like, shit, I don't want to be there again, and pushing you forward. Okay. So carrot stick scenario for you. All right. Really nice job. You might, people who've been with me, you might actually see or sense my frequencies very sharp, because in this time that we're here, things are going to move fast, guys. You got to get your shit together. There's no, it's literally the end of times. Not like as a destruction, but it's a whole new world coming through. Literally a whole new world coming through. If you're not ready for it, if you're not ready for it, you just get, say, shoveled, destroyed underneath. No offense, but that's what happens. It's the end of time. There's no, well, I thought it was this happening. I thought this was happening because my parents did this, the economy did this. Doesn't fucking matter. You have to awaken. You just have to awaken no matter where you are. And this, as this new, say, world order comes in, again, it's a great awakening. It's not a destruction. Although for those people who are at lower frequencies, it will feel a destruction. Or those people who have a control mechanism, it's a destruction. That's why we're going to be talking about mind control coming up at 10:45, which is in about 10, 15 minutes. So this one, Kazim Hussain, please could you scan me in business? Thanks. Sure. So you, my friend, you get slapped around. Simple as that. Your pattern is literally slapped around from the day you were born. You've gotten slapped around. There's a lot of, and the thing is with you and maybe a lot of guys like you, the women in your family are really, say, frustrated, right? They've been dominated, they've been controlled. And this is a destructive, say, cycle. It's a snowball effect. And this is where women are where they are, by the way. So what happens is that, women, they get dominated or they get controlled, and it's in any culture, by the way, not just this. It could be just the family more so. And then you're a kid, you're a baby, and then and since you are, a man, you represent all the, say, distortion or hatred, or frustration that, say, your mom has or whoever changed your diaper, and they're just looking at you in the eyes with all that frustration. Well. And that's how you, my friend, have gotten dominated by a woman frequency. So what that means is like your relationships, domination by a woman, and you're a very loving guy. But it's like, why the fuck does that happen? Why do I connect with that women that are just like so masculine and abrasive, that kind of pattern? And this is the reason why. And then women wonder, it's like, why can't I get a good guy? Well, hell, your mom and so on. And I'm not just blaming women, but shit, that's part of the process. Okay. So let's remove that from you. As far as the business goes, say the more and more successful. And in this pattern, by the way, if I work on your most, say, basic pattern that dominates and dictates every aspect of your life. Once you remove that, it's like it's like those domino blocks that just fall over. Everything else falls into alignment. Okay. So for you, in your business, wealth or money has a feminine frequency because it's a sense of dominance for you. So the more money you make, the more dominated you'll be by money. Okay. And it's a destructive force for you. And then you always escape. And that's why your business can only it's like a ceiling for your business. You can only make X amount, and then something has to happen, because if you go beyond that, you get messed up, you get controlled, and you don't want that. So you break away. Just like, say, your female relationships, right? You get to a certain point, and then if you go beyond that, the handcuffs get thicker, right, and heavier, and well, you break away. So the same thing with business. So let's break that block, or that ceiling that you have in relationships, business, your self-identity, all those things for you. It's a quick fix because you're a quick learner. So really nice job. I would suggest doing the 18 days because everything you know about yourself basically just falls away, and you get to be, say, a solid, say, man. So nice job. Really nice job. This one, let's see. I want to start an online business. I don't feel good not having my money. Can you scan me, please? Sure. So for you, you're always outside of yourself. You never feel good, no matter what it is, no matter what the hell you're doing. You never feel good. So what's the difference? If you did have money, you would pick on. Um, there's something going on with your midsection. By the way, that midsection is not yours. It's almost like your grandmother or your mother is in you. So yeah. Yeah. So your grandmother or your mother is in you. So that midsection, or your sexual aspect of who you are, your identity, all that stuff is really not yours. So it could be something new, or you might be that type of person that you walk into, say, a hospital or a cemetery or all that, and then you walk away and somebody's like literally grabbed you. So let's get rid of that pattern for you. Yeah. So anyway, it's not about the money. It's about you solidifying yourself in completeness. Yeah. So, so let's help you be complete, because money, if you're incomplete on the inside, money, or the lack of money, would be incomplete. So now, and you're kind of confusing to me, because you're really solid and okay. So yeah, so that's what's happening. So you're really solid, and then I see all this stuff around you. So what's happening for you, and so is that, again, through the work that you've done, you've become really solid from what I'm seeing. And yes, let's put that money in the mix for you. But before you do that, why are there so many other frequencies around you? I don't know if you're doing like another modality, or in the past you used to do modalities where you would say call in people, or have spirit guides, or I don't know, angels and all that. I don't know, whatever stuff you want to call it. By the way, those angels, spirit guides, for the most part, guys, let's just say they're not the best for you. They just keep rendering the program that you're running. So anyway, so I think your family literally is like jumping onto you. So let's remove that for you as well. So the importance of that for you, and the money aspect, is that if you're, say, getting consumed by other people, or you're an anchor for other people, when money comes into you, it'll distort you just like other people do, okay? Or that consciousness of money. So let's help you solidify yourself first. And yes, money does come in about 2.5 months. Once you solidify yourself, you'll see that shit. It's like, I'm really powerful. And then your lower section there, you actually feel really powerful, okay? The way you should. So really nice job. This one, I had a huge, awesome upgrade to lasting heavenly elevated frequencies from last evening. Give me your set. Please delete. Sure. So for you, again, really fantastic. Again, awareness opportunities. You really, say, cycling forward, but this isn't like Buddhism, and again, this XI is not a religion or spiritual movement, but it's the fastest way to awaken the grander version, the potential that you are. So if you're a business person, the greatest potential that you are, see, that magnificent self, the wealth that you are. If you're a religious or spiritual individual, it would be a higher version of yourself, your pure presence, your spirit, and all that stuff. So it doesn't matter. You're just elevating, say, to a higher space. Let's take a deep breath in, guys. Let's just quit this app. There we go. So for you, what you've done is, again, from traditional, say, mythologies of Ascension, basically it's like, hey, this XI is really fantastic. And XI, guys, it's a freaking tool. That's all it is. So you use it. It's just like a chainsaw. It's a powerful tool. It's very sharp. It's very cutting edge. But if you use it the wrong way, it'll start to destroy you. Okay. And if you use it the right way, you can create, say, masterpieces of life. So for you, and for many of you who are in this boat, and there's quite a few actually on this call from XI, is like from your old or traditional methods of, say, expansion. Basically, any religion, mythology, ascension, monks, sages, whatever, whoever, whatever they practice, religions, philosophies, any, you have a physical being. It's not worth anything, and then basically you want to separate from your physical identity and then ascend to a higher level. But that's really fucked up, guys. Because look at your body. I mean, the brilliance that created this technology that we have, it's fantastic. But it's like not even a scratch on the surface of the technology that we have. So why would something or someone, or however you want to define it, create such brilliance to escape it? To make it a hell for you to escape it. That's just straight out. It's just straight out bullshit. You guys should listen to the Science of Satan. It's a Exponential Intelligence podcast. I have a podcast, Exponential Intelligence. Science of Satan describes all that stuff and puts things into place where it makes common logic, like just straight out science and physics. So anyway, I'd highly recommend that. But for many of you, what you've done, again, from past mythology, is that you've got your body here. XI has allowed you to see the grander version of who you are. And basically, your body's here. Your spirit is like, and you want to say, go towards the light, go towards the brilliance, go towards the possibilities of, say, life that you could be. But the key is, or the rub is, that you have to bring your body with. You can only go so far. And this is where people get so enlightened, so to speak. And in that sort of enlightenment, again, unlike the Buddha, other Buddhists, they can only go to a level so far, monks and so on. You have to take your body to go even higher. So for you, my friend, it's like shit. You're leaving your body behind, and you're seeing the euphoria of what could be. It's more euphoric if you take your body with, okay? Because your sensory experiences are in your body. So let's put you back in. So for you, and then many of you around that are doing XI, what'll happen is that life will slow down, or time and space will slow down for you, okay? Which is really fantastic. So you might go, oh shit, now I gotta deal with time and all the heaviness of time. But once you start to get comfortable with your body, this is the expansion process, right? Because when people set goals for money or relationships and all that stuff, it's a directional movement forward, and you lose your identity, you lose yourself, and your wealth is not worth it. Your lack of wealth isn't any better, by the way. Okay, but when you do it properly, when you bring, say, your pure potential in your body expands. Your awareness expands, and this is where wealth becomes, say, a grandiose experience. Not just wealth, the succulence of life, guys. That's where it's all is, and that's where, again, it's not just like, hey, I've got a huge yacht, like, I don't know, like Grant Cardone. He always shows off his watches and shit like that. But I scan him, and it's like empty as hell. I don't know why he comes up, but some of you might be watching Grant. So might be super nice guy, but in my version, just empty as hell. I'm trying to prove that he's worth something, because the more wealthy you get in that respect, the less you're worth in, say, in real terms. Okay, so he might have fiat wealth, again, it's fake currency, fake luxury, because that's only 1% of who you are. The rest of you, just empty as hell, and you don't want that. So again, this is XI is, say, an expansion of all realms of your wealth. Physical, relationships, financial as well, and then that higher connection to yourself, which if you need to connect to a higher version, however that might be, whatever religion or spiritual movement, you get that from a truer sense. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move on to, and what I'm going to do on Instagram, guys, I'm going to shut you off, and then I'll just start back up. Okay, because then Instagram is only for an hour, and then you'll miss the last part of the deep science on Moss on Sunday. So, and then we'll take one more person on read as the Instagram comes back on. So just give me 1 second, guys. Mhm. Alrighty, and while they're coming on, uh, um, it's so fast, guys. I can't. I'll just click on anything here. How are we supposed to awaken the higher consciousness when it's what creates us and our frequencies? Sure. So, really good question, and I'll work on you to help you understand that. Really good question. So, how are we supposed to awaken the higher consciousness when it's what creates us and our frequencies? So, many of you think that if you connect to your higher self or your spirit, then you're good to go. And what you're doing here is you're creating yourself here. That's not the case. You're a rendering of, say, how awakened your higher consciousness is. That's the key. So over time, what we call hereditary patterns, or I don't want to call it evolution because humans don't evolve; they devolve. And over time, what you got from your parents, what they got from their parents, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So you're the last, say, if you were a software program, you'd be the last software update version of your family. Okay, so that's not, say, an awakened spirit. That's just a program that's running. So your spirit is literally, or your consciousness is an operating system. And again, you're the latest version of all the experiences that your parents have had. So, uh, so, and then you add your own, say, taste of life to it. So there's a lot of distortions. So, and that's why your spirit renders itself in the way it does, and that's why you're in lack, because you're out of time and space. Because with each, say, generation, you move away from the reality that's real. Okay, the pure presence of who you are, the awakened consciousness. So what you're asking is like, well, how do you awaken? The best way to awaken is, well, exponential intelligence, the 18 days, or if you want to do it on your own, be totally aware of your body movements. It sounds crazy, but to be aware of like spatial references, and you can do this on your own just to prove it to you. And I just do it a hell of a lot faster for you. So I'll just put you into, say, present moment time. Is like spatial referencing, like notice where the couch is compared to where you are. You do that all day long, you'll become like super present, better than Buddhism and all that stuff. And I'm not knocking Buddhism down, but what it's turned out to be, not the real Buddha. He's my guy. Um, um, the other aspects of you is start to be aware of you in motion in the environment. So notice what your hands are doing. Notice how you walk. Notice how you, say, create yourself here in this reality, and you start to really awaken. And I can just do it for you, just to like bump you up. But it's your job to, say, push you up into that higher space, right? So just give me a second, guys. We're back online. So we'll go to mind control. And as I was doing research, guys, on mind control, crazy shit on what people do to well, control the minds on that. And we're going to go through the process because it's not just about the government mind controls like MK Ultra and all that stuff and all that stuff that they've done, but other sorts of mind control. And this is what it's come down to. In fact, no offense, whatever that we're going through, and I don't want to say anything because then YouTube just like cuts this video off. So whatever that we're going through in today's world, basically it's a form of mind control. Okay, total, say, destruction, total breakdown, because that's, in a sense, that's what mind control is all about. It's breaking down, say, your psyche, your essence. It's breaking down or separating, say, your identity from your source. So let me explain that. So there's a power source. Okay, imagine that you, and this is how it works. But if you can imagine a projector, there's a projector. Okay, and it's literally around you. It's a circular projector. Or if you want to call it your spirit, you can. So your spirit is actually outside of your body. Okay. But I would call it the energy that renders your body here. So, and then you are the image that is rendered. So your physical form that you see is is a rendering. It's not really real here. That's why I say I can shift you like that for many of you, right? If you were like a solid object, I couldn't do that to you. But if you were a frequency resonating at a density that creates form, I call that your personal frequency signature. And you have millions of frequencies that resonate, right? Say your liver structure, all this stuff. Again, it's all frequencies resonating harmoniously to create who you are. Okay, so imagine that. And again, it got a little deeper than what it should have. So you have, so I'll just go back, simplify it. You have your form, a projector. You have your physical identity. Again, the holographic image that you are. So what they try to do in any sort of mind control, okay, whether it's your spouse trying to derail you, or pull the rug from under you, to weaken you, to to seduce, whatever it is, to say again, a government mechanism, the Soviets, the US, whoever it might be, what it is, it's like the breakdown of the projector and your image. Okay, so it's a breakdown of your identity. Once you have that breakdown of identity, they say tap in to that projector or your spirit, literally, but it's not really your spirit. Okay, that spirit is like pushed away, and then you start to get controlled. And there's different layers of it, and I just want to go through. There's about, say, 10 different ones, well, more than 10, and then some of the government experiences or experiments that have been around. Again, like MK Ultra. Give me a second here, guys. MK Ultra, the CIA project Artichoke, and there's tons and tons and tons of that stuff. And just to show you overall what it's about. I took some copies here. So this is how, again, they break down, say, that connection of your identity. Okay, and I'll show you how, like, MK Ultra and all that works. And this is from Google Psychology article, Psychology Today. So and I'll just read it to you. Science has its share of ethical breaches. From 1932 to 1972, the Tuskegee syphilis study recruited Black men for syphilis studies. Children in mental hospitals have been infected with hepatitis. It's a Wilbur hepatitis, studies of the 1950s, exposed to radioactive materials, and patients with compromised immune systems have been injected with liver cancer cells. Jewish chronic disease hospital studies. Reaction to incidents of this type led to the modern institutional review board system based on the principles of the 1974 Belmont report. So the U.S. government behavioral studies, holy crap, guys, but what the government did to the Soviet Union and People's Republics of China between the 1940s and 50s, the MK Ultra, conducted behavioral modifications, research on people, MK Ultra, what they tested, among other things, the hypnosis and LSD. So what they would do, MK Ultra, they would just keep giving you LSD in, say, an altered state or hypnotic state, and then again it breaks down who controls your mechanism. Okay, I would call that your, say, consciousness or your operating system. So your operating system starts to deteriorate, and then what they do is they inject their own operating system into you. So what they usually use hypnosis. It's usually, say, drug induced. It's usually removing things from you, like spatial referencing. That's why spatial referencing, I tell you guys all the time, spatial referencing, and there's a reason for that. So spatial referencing, they move all spatial referencing. So what they do is, like, they put people in the dark room. There's no sight, there's no sounds, there's no smells, there's no anything. Again, you start to lose your spatial referencing, or what that means in say XI, exponential intelligence physics, is that your projector that I just talked about, okay, it has to reference where it created itself in space-time. Now, this goes really deep. I've done other topics on space-time and how you render yourself and how space-time works and how it gets created. Something that Elon Musk should actually listen to help him with the Mars movement. But what happens is that the computer or the projector that creates your identity in physical form here, like again, the fourth dimension, okay, it starts to disconnect. And what that means is that you pull away. So the computer says that you're on, coordinate, X, but in reality, your physical form is in coordinate, C, somewhere way off, and that really distorts you. Okay, and as it distorts you, they inject, not between your consciousness or your spirit, they inject their own mindset into you. So they literally hijack. So you have your spirit, and I wish I had a diagram. You have your spirit identity, or again, your computer. Okay, let's just use computer. Just gets away from religion and all that spiritual bullshit. You have your physical, you have your spirit identity, or again, your energy source. It creates a rendering, just like a computer that creates, say, creates a player. If you're playing a video game on TV, right? It exactly knows where that player is. But then now, because of drugs, because of again, reference points eliminated, is that you get deteriorated, and then the computer loses track of where your body is created. And this is what shit's like. I need something, and this is, you can say anything to that person, and it doesn't matter what you say. You can say anything to that person will agree, because just listening to your voice will bring them into time, and it's like nourishment, and it's like, holy crap, I was dying, because that's what it is. And it'll pull into to say any form of, say, reference point, and it pulls. That's how mind control works. The government, the higher level government, people who work on mind control and shit, even in today's, because the artichoke study, the MK Ultra, that was back in the fucking 1970s, 80s. Imagine what they have now. Really weird shit, by the way. And I can tell you what they have now, because they can tap into anything, anybody. More so than Google and Facebook and all that stuff. I know more about you than any of those combined, by the way, but I use it as a proper way. So let's take a deep breath in, and I'll guide you into this space as well, because we're just running out of time. And battery here, so just give me 1 second, guys. Just want to make sure, because I want to get you into those deep states, and what we'll do is I'll get you into those deep states where I help you take over your own mind. So it is mind control, exponential intelligence. It's basically the highest source of mind control, just hands down. And I've actually validated this with, there was this, I'm not going to get into details, but a Russian KGB agent that did mind control, and he escaped, because usually those types of people don't escape, but got so heinous that he escaped, and somehow I met him, and I worked on him through exponential intelligence. It's like, holy crap, this is the real stuff. So that's how powerful it is. It's way beyond, because and again, I just want to assure you, though, it's about you regaining your own, say, systems control. Okay, that's all it is. So that's where you want to be, and this is what this whole world is about: you regaining your own, say, mind. Okay, and that's why this mind control project, or I'm on this mind control topic. So let's take a deep breath in, and if you want, guys, you can comment on some of the mind control methods, and I'll tell you. How they do it. Okay, even the most, say, heinous type mind controls, like water torture and all that stuff. Those are all like primitive forms, like MK Ultra, primitive forms. Like satanic worship, type deal, right? That you see some of the entertainers, primitive forms, and they're all primitive because they're all time based. They're all physical based. They're all time and space based. They're all of this reality. So they control your physical form. They don't control your higher consciousness, and that's where it gets really destructive for you, and the person controlling you. Because the people that say control, they think they're getting away with it. They think they're controlling you. Fuck no, guys. They get so messed up because if you're hijacking somebody, I'm looking for this next article, guys. So if you're hijacking somebody, guess whose frequencies or whose energy source is supporting the person that's being controlled? It would be the person controlling you. And again, I wish I had a diagram. So you have a direct connection. This is, say, your higher self or your energy source. This is you, okay? And then what happens is that they hijack somewhere in the middle, somewhere where time and space start to create, because your energy source is of a timeless nature, okay? It's limitless energy. So what they do is they hijack right in the middle, and then to create energy, because again, they pulled the source away to create you. They pull the source away. The controller has to be the source. Otherwise, you would die. Does that make sense to you? This is where suicide happens, guys. The energy source, your physical identity, gets pulled away, just like a Bluetooth, say, a Bluetooth connection. Gets far away from the source, you have to die. And it's got nothing to do with anything else. So basically, they take you into, say, a suicide state, and then they inject their own power. And when somebody is suicidal, say, or somebody is drowning, for example, what do? They'll grasp at anything, right? And this is where they start to do mind control. Certain cultures or religious experiences or sacrificing back in the day, again, very prehistoric, primitive, mind control. The key is that those people who control, they think they're getting away. They think they're controlling. Hell no. They're getting worse and worse, because once you start to control somebody's mind like that, you're providing their sustenance. They die. You're providing their sustenance, their consciousness that is not here anymore. So that's why those professors or all those individuals, if you study whatever happened to them, they get really fucked up. They get so distorted. Their essence gets destroyed. So that's why many of those physicists, they start going in this shit, and it's like, fuck, I don't want to go there. But then they're forced by their government and so on to do that. So that's another, say, aspect we can talk about. Let's take a deep breath in, and I'll guide you into the state on how you've been mind controlled, and then pull you out, okay? By allowing you to take back control of your own mind. Notice where you are. Notice the space around you. Again, spatial referencing. So look around you. If your eyes are closed, open them up. Look around you. Look around you and notice, say, you. And the key is you always want to notice the object and then yourself. Okay? Hypnosis, if you realize, they allow you to notice you and then they notice the object. You don't want to do that because it takes you out of your consciousness. That's how hypnosis works. Okay? So if you don't want to be hypnotized, do it the opposite. Okay? And you can even take control of the hypnotist, by the way, if you do that, because you're using their energy, kind of like Taekwondo, to hypnotize them. So take a deep breath again. So what you want to do, spatial referencing, again, notice the wall. Notice the chair. Notice anything inanimate, not a person or animal, because they move around, but inanimate objects. They don't move around in realities or in time and space. Notice where they are, and then notice just where you are. So notice where they are compared to where you are. You don't have to be exact. The chair's over there compared to where I am. And, the more references, at least 3, the better for you. Just like, geolocation, right, or global positioning. That's how it works. And pinpoints exactly where you are. Or other senses, your 5, again, all 5 senses for you. Take a deep breath in again. Notice sounds. around you and notice where they come from. Be acute on where sounds come from, because it always puts you back into, say, real time, and then you can't get controlled. Notice scent, smells. Okay, especially smells are very highly important. So notice where the smell comes from, and then notice where you are. If you do it the other way, and many of you experience this, you smell, I don't know, somebody like cooking, baking bread or baking chocolate chip cookies, and even saying that. And if your mom baked chocolate chip cookies, do you see how you just waft out into, say, back in your childhood or whenever she used to bake cookies for you? Does that make sense to you? Do you just see how that felt? So you do it the other way around. Okay, you always want to do it the other way around. Okay, I guess you could call it negative hypnosis. So again, the smells especially, and then pull yourself back. Even the taste in your mouth. And I'll help you rewire yourself by helping you generate your own frequencies. Take a deep breath in again. So we'll connect to the mastermind. That's another way of people connecting or getting mind control. In this case, it's your highest version, your purest version of where you could reach at this moment in time. So it's not the distorted version of who you are. Most mastermind, and again, chaotic or prehistoric or elementary type, what the government uses or anybody else for the mind control or mastermind. In this case, again, a pure source of pure connection of who you are. So forcing you to hold on to your higher version, no matter what's happening to your lower version. So no matter how much you can get controlled at the lower versions, your higher version is operating or dictating, and then you get, say, cleansed or replenished or reset, right? And then in due time, you don't even get messed up by mind control. Breath in again. Asking yourself, how can I be my purest potential even more? So it's very important to add the even more, because it allows you or helps you understand at a cognitive level that you are already connected to your source. And it's not a Godhead. It's not anything spiritual or religious. You have to get that out of your mind, because that's a form of mind control. It's your original state of energy. It's what creates you. Okay? So get rid of the spiritual definitions, get rid of all that stuff, because that shit's been tainted for you. All aspects of religion, again, forms of mind control for you. Spirituality, forms of mind control. The way a Jesus would do it, the way a Buddha would do it, it's basically what we're doing here, setting you free. But if you're not getting the same results as a Buddha, as a Jesus, as a Muhammad, you're doing it fucking wrong. It's just straight out. I don't care what you believe. I don't care if you believe in all that stuff, guys. It doesn't matter. If you're not getting the same results, because I'm a bottom line guy, if you're not getting the same damn results, then you're doing it absolutely wrong. Try to do it some other way if you believe in that faith, okay? Not dissuading you from the faith, but you want to do it right. So let's take a deep breath in again. And we'll just go a little bit more here. Let's go a little bit deeper. And I'm going to go through the different forms of mind control. Education. The way you've been taught, the way you've been raised. Again, especially if you've been in a communist type or tyrannical type government, the U.S. isn't any worse. It just basically feeds you on how to be a good citizen and take orders. So again, education. So let's basically dumbing you down. They don't know how to think. They show you what to think. They actually show you think by dumbing you down. They show you how to think so you can get controlled. They don't show you how to think to, say, expand your, and then they show you what to think. So take a deep breath in. So removing that off you. The next thing is advertising and propaganda. Obviously, you would know a ton about that. right? Basically disconnecting you. So they always use a fear state in advertising propaganda, right? Hurry, limited time quantity. It expires. You're you're worthless if you don't buy this jeans that are gonna, I don't know, make you whatever, right? Or you buy this purse, or you buy this car. Whatever it is, it's your personality. You don't have a personality if you don't buy X, or you're nobody if you don't buy X. Entertainers are like that as well. So take a deep breath in. So advertising propaganda, again, which includes politics and all that stuff as well, right? News. So we'll get rid of that stuff for you. And for people who are new, yes, I do get rid of it. So basically what's happening is like, how I get rid of it for you is you start to see the programming, education, and advertising propaganda at a deeper level, right? You start to get to see the ulterior motives, like a magic trick, right? It's magical, but then I show you how they did the magic. Simple as that. So I show you how they say create control for you. Predictive programming. Um, so if you read like Alan Watts, this goes back to say Hollywood, where they show what's happening today. They moved about it back and ever, and the statistics, what they do, how to do it, all played out over and over and over again. So big screen movie, Netflix stuff, whatever, all documentaries on that, and it gets your mind prepared. So when they actually start creating it, it feels right. There you go. You get control. Vigilant citizen. By the way, take a look at that. You'll see what I mean on programming. This is how people abuse people. I'm going to do X to you. So they already create that stage for you. Sports, politics, religion. So again, sports like run the field. Again, it's a mindset. If you look at people games that attack each other, or protests happens. It's not just one person that say runs the field. It's like a whole mass all run. So that's the master. So again, from some sort of controlling, it creates that mastermind that people are in through suggestions, hypnosis, and our team's the best in all those underlying frequencies. And then you just run the field. You don't even know why. Protests, Black Lives Matter, stuff like that. Same shit. There we go. So helping you, again, separate from that. Food, water, air. Destroying your genetic makeup, right? Your chemical balance, your hormonal structures that dictate your moods, depression, pushing you into depressions, things of that nature. There we go. So when you get into depressive states, what do? You're drowning. You reach out for stuff, which leads us, say, to drugs, psychiatry. Unfortunately, there's so many people that have helped. Take a deep breath in. They go into psychiatric treatment, and they do studies and tests on them. Really fucked up. So again, helping you or your family remove. So you start to become aware of all the ways. Military testing, obviously we talked about that. Even 5G, sending direct 5G to people really messes up their programming. Electromagnetic spectrums, EMF waves, again, 5G, everything else, electrical wires, all that really distort your connection. It creates distortion between, again, your power source and then how your physical form, how you render your body, okay, your projector and your projected, your hologram. So all that. Take a deep breath in. Television, computers, the flicker rates of your screen, or this. That's why high def TV not good for you. Because the flicker rates, the underlying, because it's like lights. If you've taken a picture, a video of, say, a light, do you notice that there's a flicker on that, right? That you don't see, so because it moves so fast. So do that, and you'll see that really messes up your through your eyes. It messes up your own frequencies. So brain entrainment, audio, and all of that. You can use it for the good, but again, this is not for the good. They could actually create, say, television with flicker rates that harmonize you, but they don't. They create a certain frequency that starts to put you into, say, a hypnotic state, and then they can put suggestions, whether it's physical, like auditory, you can hear it, or like, it's like subliminal messages in you. And yes, they do that for you, especially with video games, with kids. It's messed up. So it's not necessarily the video games, but it's the flicker rate and then the messages underneath. And then nanobots. I forgot what Elon Musk his company is, but literally rewiring your brain. And then once it's rewired, you can literally like push a button and you feel happy. But again, so basically you turn into a computer. So again, a dangerous path that society goes through, because, well, who controls what's in your brain now? You can't even tell what's yours or not yours. So again, crazy stuff that's happening. So really pushing you away from that, or helping you awaken. So take a deep breath in again. The important thing to note, right? This is as a heads up. I'm not here to scare you. Right? I'm just telling you that, hey, if you're going to be on this human pathway, I'm telling you, there's some potholes. There's people that are going to ambush you on the way. So I want you to be aware of it and ready, especially in these times. So you can remove yourself and you can be ready for it. Any of those mind control methods, even whatever they are working on, and what they're working on basically is about frequencies, resonating frequencies through the masses, or light spectrum technology. So city lights and so on will create that's kind of crazy shit. So the new thing is like light bulbs, on like highways and city lights and all that. You'll see people like change light bulbs, from what I'm seeing. Or it's like, hey, these light bulbs are getting old, we're going to put something new in. Or even light bulbs that you might buy, at Home Depot and whatever. They're the manufacturers probably paid off to create flicker rates or whatever that like induce you into certain states of docileness. So that's what they're working on, right? Because then you're easily suggestible. So what can you do about it? Is, again, all those things are very low level frequencies compared to who you are, because that is just 1% of who you are. The 1%, your human identity, your human body. So let's take a deep breath in. So what I'm helping you do is start to control your own mind, where once you're at the top level of your control, nobody can control you. Okay? And then whatever happens below, you use, say, flicker rates to enhance where you're here. Okay? It's the same thing in any situation, right? Once you're at a top level awareness of who you are and how you create your reality here. For example, you've been abused back in the day. Exponential intelligence allows you to use that abuse to strengthen and hone yourself and again be a grander version of yourself. It's not the best thing, but you've had that experience. You can't change that experience, but you can change how it created you or rendered you after that experience, right? So that's the same thing here. So no matter who does anything here, trying to control you through all this, I would say very primitive compared to the possibilities that we have deep inside. Because again, those are all material type or physical type control mechanisms. Fucking kindergarten stuff compared to exponential intelligence. And that's where you are, giving you back access to that. So you, again, understand yourself from a higher level. And as you understand yourself from a higher level, you use anything below you, right? Just like a ninja, you use anything below you that comes to you as a power tool to enhance your abilities even more. So, and then pushing back the distortions of whoever created those manifestations, again, because they're trying to hijack you, pushing that back so they get messed up rather than you. So let's take a deep breath in and notice where you are. Notice the space around you. And we'll probably end up doing, I think we did actually do a mind control to free yourself, a deeper meditation. So if you're interested in that, what did we call that?
Freedom from mind control is already on their description.
Okay, so freedom from mind control. If you go to massajady.com, freedom from mind control, it's a deeper state of what I just put you through to free yourself even more. And I would suggest playing that in the background, especially in the next, say, month or two, just because, agendas and all that stuff, as people lose control, they're going to push more into you. So there we go. So highly recommend staying in this space for a little bit longer. All right, guys. As we end, notice what you notice and then notice the details. Peace.